All right, this is the first Twilight yoga session. Now, this is obviously going to be timed because you'll see the time stamp. My goal is to get within 1 hour today. I just want to send a few quick shout outs. Number one, thank you, God, for making me, making my parents, that whole family tree, and likewise for my wife and my family. Thank you for our dog who's here with us today, Blue. As you can see, you're down with EXP. Yeah, you know me. I am down with EXP. And when I say that, I really mean it, as I am now a complete shareholder. I can partake in this business and own this business just like all the other shareholders within our company. So we're gonna get right down to it. And I'm gonna really walk everybody through this yoga session. I have a lot of athletes that I've known over the years and got to know over the years, and just their family, their children. They're all coming up to be very good athletes, and they're always wanting to be their best, and somehow they end up coming to me and asking. And what I have for them is yoga, because yoga has really trained my core and really changed my dynamics and understanding of my own body. So we're gonna hop into this yoga session. I'm gonna take my time as I relax into this. So today I'm the teacher, but I'm also the student. So I really wanted to get a good angle and want to be able to talk to you guys, everybody, about what I'm experiencing and what I'm doing while I'm in these poses. So I will lose breath and get short of breath a little bit, but the main thing is to really try and notice my angles, and I'll try and point those things out as I go through this flow. But shout out to the Yoga Factory and the Baptiste yoga flow and that I've learned, and this is my first true real life yoga YouTube session. So here we go. Now down into child's pose. In this child's pose, you just really want to feel the ground. Allow your body to press against the ground and feel your fingertips press into the ground. The four corners of your hands is very important. If you can press your pointer finger mound down into the ground, it'll save a lot of stress on your wrist, and that helps a lot with the yoga practice, because we spend a lot of times on our wrists, and you really have to root those four corners down. So root those four corners down. Really just think introspectively about what we're about to do, and we're going to challenge ourselves. And shout out to Pure Swing Golf. Shout out to my nieces and nephews right now. This session right here is for you guys more specifically than anything else, because you guys are growing up and this world is going really fast, and there's a lot of distractions, and you really got to be able to slow your brain down and be able to get through a yoga session to build your body up and not just your brain. So that's what this focus is. So Bray, Abby, Miles and King, Raiden, Jaya, and forgetting my other niece's name, drawing a blank here, but Jalen Weasler. So yeah, and all the Baker kids, my nieces and nephews as well. This child's pose is very important. Let your belly fall between your thighs, and then press your butt down to the ground and really just feel the ground. And then we're gonna move into downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, again, think about the four corners of your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners of your hands, and press all of that into the mat. And oh yeah, shout out to North Texas Luxury Lawns here in Rowlett, Texas, home of North Texas Luxury Lawns. This grass is beautiful, and it allows me to be right next to my dog and be outside and stay dry and stay not messy even when it's rainy outside. But yeah, back into downward facing dog. Press your heels back into the mat, into the grass. If you can, really allow your head to fall
and find a way to settle yourself. You want your chest to open up and go towards your thighs, and you want to pull your thighs towards your chest. And so you really want this tall V, and again, you got to really press back into the four corners to get to that of your hands. So, and press into your feet as well to make a big tall A or upside down V shape. Then we're going to walk our feet up into what we call a relaxing forward fold. And really just ragdoll pose. Just grab your elbows, grab both sides, and really just relax. Oh, got my little strap out.
Let's fix that. Super organic here. So yeah, shout out to Pure Swing Golf, my godson, Luke Broussard, and his family, my dearest of friends from college, the Broussard family. Have this Pure Swing Golf, and I'm just repping them today. Shout out to Luke.
Forward fold and the Broussard family. Ragdoll, in this ragdoll, you can let your chest fall onto your thighs. Really bend your knees, but don't let your chest fall forward too far. So these are really relaxing, waking up poses. As we get further into the yoga class, we'll really pick it up, and we'll start that kind of now.
So inhale, mountain pose. Really press down again to the four corners now of your feet instead of your hands. Press down to the four corners. It creates a nice strong foundation with which you can press up, which is the key to all your jumping, your running, all those things. Really big, tall, long, extended mountain pose. Then the standing prayer pose. And I'm just gonna liken this to something my grandpa showed me a long time ago. I had an alternator that wouldn't start, and all he did was bang it with a wrench, and the alternator started. So there was something that had it clogged up or slowing down. So I attained these vibrational ohms to that in our spine. And so when we do these vibrational ohms, it's like my grandpa hitting on top of that alternator to shake whatever clog there loose. And so I'm gonna do 3 vibrational ohms, and that's what those are for, is to vibrate my spine, and it really feels good, and it sounds pretty cool. So big inhale. Then inhale back to mountain pose. Exhale,
Forward fold. Inhale, push your dog over. Halfway lift. So as you sit your butt back on your feet, and then press back into chaturanga with your feet. You can walk or float. Up dog, inhale. Really pull your thighs up off the ground, tops of your feet press down into the mat, and open your heart up to the sky, to the sun. Then press back into downward facing dog. So that is a full sun salutation A. What we're gonna do is speed that up and take breath to movement. So inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold.
inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walker float into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walker float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale,
Mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And that chaturanga, really squeeze your elbows into your side. You should feel them next to your ribs. And then press up into up dog. Exhale into down dog. And we've got one more of those. We did 3 fast. Start off with 1 slow. We usually do 5 of those. You can do as many as the instructor requests, or as many as you like in your practice, and you can move on. Inhale, halfway lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And now we'll go into sun salutation B. And what that is we're going to start with a chair pose right now instead of a mountain pose like we did in sun salutation A. So chair pose, sit your butt back just like you're in your halfway lift, and then lift your chest up. Keep your belly button pulled back to your spine. Arms up, sit back. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior 1. So take a big step to the front of your mat. Try and make a railroad track with your feet so you don't want them in a straight line. And then rotate the back foot down. Keep that front knee bended over the ankle joint. Keep them in line and over top each other. And then stand up with the hips open. And then warrior 1. Inhale. Reach to the sky, press down into your blade edge of your foot. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior 1. Step, railroad track. Rotate the foot back in the back. Knee over the ankle. Open up. Exhale. Root down. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. If you're like me, I feel the energy build up whenever I really inhale and really root down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now, we've got 1 done, and we're gonna go full breath to movement. After that, Blue, give me this. No. Where's your bone? It's not your bone. Okay, so still on warrior sun salutation B now. We just finished the first one. We're gonna go to breath to movement now. So we're gonna lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna find that chair pose again. Really sit back. Pull your pelvis up towards your stomach so that it's neutral and not bending forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Roll, pull your shoulders back, hands to the ground, fingertips to the ground. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior 1. 1 breath, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, down dog. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Really sit back, squeeze like there's a block in between your legs. Give me that. She likes to mess with my stuff while I'm playing. Give me that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Butt head. Okay, so she wants to be in the film. I get it. You want to get some of this film time? We'll give you some. She's doing up dog right now with her chest. And so we're gonna go right back to it like nothing ever happened. We got our 2 more. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Walk our foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Pull that pelvis up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or flip to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Inhale, exhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, warrior one. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, exhale. Finish sun salutation A. We're gonna take it into 3-legged dog. Press your right foot up. Really breathe. Breathe into that heel. Exhale. You want to keep the hips facing forward as if you're running straight down towards the ground. You don't want to open your hip unless you're specifically looking to open your hip or your ass too, which I just did, open my hip. Rotate the hip around and then tilt the hip all the way over, flip the foot down, turn both feet forward, and then just press back into wheel. Then you can rotate back over. So back to downward facing dog. Yeah, this is tiring, it's not easy. And then we're gonna go to side plank. I'm gonna turn my hand with a V so I get a little bit more balance. A little bit, I can press down into the 4 corners. Really press down into the blade edge of my foot to lift me up. Tight muscles or light muscles, so squeeze towards the middle and feel your body lift. And come back down, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your other
heel up. Really press into that heel, squeeze into that heel. Allow the hip to open up. Put it over the top of the other hip, and then open and flip over. Turn the feet to 12 o'clock, facing the opposite way. Then flip over into wheel. And then you can flip out of that, back into downward facing dog. Turn your hand, get you a good V there with your hand so you get a good square base with your wrist. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. I really like to make sure my mat is straight, especially during class, because there's a lot of people. You don't want to be all into someone else's lane, but that happens. So, again, back into downward facing dog, or did side plank. Now we're going to take a warrior one step with the right foot. Same alignment, but we're going to keep the heel up in the back. And we're going to stand straight up into crescent lunge. Straighten that back leg like it's pressing off of a wall so that it pushes this left hip forward. Press off that wall behind you. The wall is your foot. Create the wall with your foot. And then here, 90-degree angle. As you can see, the quads are fired up. Belly button, press back. You don't want to arch your back, but you want to press back into the belly button. Press this hip forward. And then come into prayer hands. Then take a big inhale, really elongate your spine up. Then tilt forward, and then twist. Slightly hook the elbow onto the knee. Revolving crescent lunge. You can even open those wings up. Really press back into that back heel. Pull that knee over the top of the ankle on the front. And then we're gonna roll into warrior two. Swing out, then roll the foot down from the back like warrior one. My dog's under my foot, so blue, get out of the way. Get back. Thank you. Press that heel, blade edge into the ground. Make sure that knee again is over the top of that ankle. And then press in from both sides to the center. Stay tall. Open fingertips out towards the front and out towards the back as far as you can, both directions. Pull in with your legs both directions. And then extend that hand out, tilt over, side angle lunge. Again, keep that back foot squeezing down to the ground. Front foot, push that knee over to the top of the ankle. Extend the bottom hand. Extend the top hand. Try and keep your feet grounded. Thighs and chest apart. Really extend out the head and chaturanga. Up dog. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Dog back here. What you doing back here, Blue? You getting you some camera? And then we're gonna press back into downward facing dog. And we're gonna go to the other side. Warrior one step. Keep the heel up. Call it crescent lunge. Really press into that back heel. Press the right hip forward, but then press the left knee back and make sure it's, or wherever it needs to go in order to be on top of the and above the ankle. That's your line of power. Now when you squeeze in towards your hip and keep that knee over the top, but squeeze softly, don't like that, but just pull your thigh bone, knee bone, legs down there, all that, pull that towards the front. Press that hip forward, make that straight line, and then breathe. Inhale, tall. Exhale, just prayer hands, and another inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Keep those hands together. You can even apply some pressure
Really keep that knee where it's supposed to go. Pick that back leg up, make sure it's not sagging towards the ground, and open those wings. And then we're gonna inhale, warrior two. What's up, Blue Blue? What's up, mama? What you doing? What you got? Take that warrior two. Don't let anything distract you from your practice. As Blue's trying to get Papa's attention, wants to lay down on the mat. We're gonna stay in our warrior two. Really keep that knee over. Press back into that back blade edge of your foot. Press forward, press backwards so you can get to the center. Both hands going both directions. Squeeze everything towards the midline. Extend. Keep the knee over the ankle. Inhale and relax. Press the back leg down. Back foot, whole foot into the mat. Extend top arm. Extend bottom arm. Breathe. Ground. And chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we're gonna come to the front of our mat. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or float to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Prayer hands. You can go back into a twist. Exhale, twist to the right. Really sit your butt down. Squeeze the knees together. Don't let them touch though. We can tip into side curl. Keep your elbow connected to your knee. Above your knee though. And let your hands fall to the side. Keep your knee and elbow connected. And then tilt forward and lift off. Tilt forward and lift off. Press your legs forward. Back. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. So side curl, come out of the side curl. Back to chair pose. From the twist is where we came out of, just so you can see. Back forward, forward fold. I'm gonna spread our feet apart just a little bit. Place your big toe, grab both of it with your fingers, pointer fingers, grab under your big toe, and then put all the weight you can into that big toe and pull. Get that bicep work. Own self-resistance. You can keep your thighs against your chest, your belly. You want those things to touch because that allows your body to know that it's safe. Really pull down into it. Pull your shoulder blades together. Inhale, exhale. Feet back together for chair pose again. Really pull the hip complex up towards the belly. Sit back a little bit more. Raise the arms behind the ears if you can. If it's not there, then raise them as high as you can. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, twist. Exhale, twist. Inhale, keep that connection. Make sure your knees are in the same line next to each other. If one's forward, just adjust it back. Really breathe. Exhale into your twist. Open the wings, sit the butt down a little bit more. Now you can tilt into side crow. Connect elbow and knee together. Keep them connected. Really press the feet out forward. and then safely walk out of it the way that you came in. And glue knocked off the necklace, of course. Fix this real quick. Catch me a breather for future reference. A good breathing position. Relax if you need to catch your breath. Whatever you need to do. You can get into child's pose. I showed you that one earlier. Get over. Child's pose when you're in a breather, you need to relax. We're gonna come back to our side crow. Now we're gorilla toe, gorilla forward fold. We're gonna put our complete hands underneath our feet. And at this point, I'm just really fatigued. This is the challenge of doing a class and speaking or teaching the class, so I hope I'm loud enough and you can hear me. But just in the gorilla toe forward fold, gorilla forward fold, put your big toe on top of your hand mounds and really press into those mounds. Really squeeze down into them and massage them, because we're about to do crow pose next, and that's gonna put a lot of pressure on your wrists. So if you really open them up, take this time to massage them and get them ready. And then we'll fly into crow. So crow, you're just gonna replace your hands with your feet and really put your knees into your armpits. Really securely put them into your armpits. Leave your hands down, four corners, press down, and just tilt forward. Lift your feet off the ground. When you tilt forward, take your eyes forward so that if you fall, you tuck your head, but you take your eyes forward so that your momentum and your drishti and your focus pulls you forward, knowing that you have your body to counterbalance. And then chaturanga, and I've got a creeper on my mat. So you go from crow, ideally keep those hands in position, knees into the armpits, tilt forward, everything squeezing towards the midline, and then press off of your arms into the chaturanga. Chaturanga. Up dog. Open the chest. Down dog. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to come back to the front of the mat. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Really tall. Really extend from the lower top of your hip and the lower part of your abdomen. Squeeze those together and extend both directions. And inhale, mountain pose. Exhale into eagle pose. So you take your right leg up and over, your right arm up and under, left arm, and wrap up. Really pull your shoulder blades back into your spine, create a line, straight line, pull the pelvis up, and then sit down like you're in chair pose with one leg. And you want your foot to be able to wrap around your ankle ideally once your hip is flexible enough. And we're gonna step mountain pose. Exhale, left leg up and over. Right, left arm up and under the right arm, shoulder blades back, elbows up. Really, see, this one's a little bit more flexible, my hip is, so I'm able to get my foot around my leg. This hip is more open. My right hip is more tight. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, press down to the ground, down into the earth. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Kick that foot forward, press through your heel. If you can, just like we did the big toe forward fold, grab the big toe again. Really press into that heel because that really extends your hip and keeps you tall. Because right on your left leg, you're in mountain pose. And on your right leg, you're in mountain pose, but you really have to press into the bottom heel in order to create that. And it allows you to stand up. Close it back. Inhale, exhale, swing the foot through, tilt forward, airplane arms, because this is called airplane pose. Pull your chest up like an up dog. Press that heel back, hip level. Squeeze the pinkies towards each other. Help squeeze the shoulder blades back. Prayer hands, chest still tall, and then rotate that top hip over the top of the bottom hip. Press that down into the four corners of the feet, the foot. Press into the four corners of the up foot so that you have a wall back there. Inhale, really rotate the chest, really press down into that foot. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, really ground down to the four corners of the feet. Inhale, lift the left knee up. Exhale, press that heel forward. Lean forward, grab that thigh. Open up. Again, press into both directions. Down to the ground, four corners. Over to the left, four corners. And then squeeze. I lost my balance there. Squeeze the thighs forward. Really, as you can see, this hip is so much tighter. And then swing that foot back for airplane pose. Press into the four corners of the feet. You may be able to see my foot on that angle. Really squeeze back. Shoulder blades rolling back. Prayer hands. Rotate the hip. Four corners. Don't forget the four corners of the foot. Rotate the hip up, both directions. Lightly hover the feet over. And mountain pose. Dancer pose, kick that foot back. Keep the thighs next to each other. Foot inside, hand inside the foot. Grab, really extend up into the air and then press through your quad. Press the heel up behind you and allow the arm to feel it. And as you get to that tipping point, your forward hand starts to fall forward and you pull that energy from the ground, four corners. Press that heel up and extend the mountain pose and then get ready for the other side. Oh. Inhale up, mountain pose. Dancer pose, left side, pull that thigh up, really turn the shoulder to the front. Don't want it to open up too much. You really want to create a mountain pose with your upper body, and then just a single leg movement. Press the quad up, press the hand up top, up. Let the heel do the talking back behind you. And I mean, when you hit that tipping point, you'll know because you'll start to fall forward. Just keep pressing up, and extended mountain pose. Press the foot back into the ground. Tree pose, pull the foot up and inside the thigh. Four corners still apply here, except now you're applying it to your own thigh with your own foot, not to the ground. So this is why this pose is so strong. And really just press into your foot, press into your thigh, the inner thigh, into the foot, and really try and make a strong squeeze together to express outward, which opens up your hips. See, I can open this knee back more because I'm pressing into this foot here, really extended, and close it up. Take your tree down. Tall, do the opposite side. Really pull that foot up. You want it to be above your knee, but below your knee. You don't want it to be right on your knee. And then you just want to press into each of the four sides, corners of your foot. You want to press into your thigh, and then you want to squeeze your thigh and press it back against the feet. And then creates a figure four, and then you can open up the hips more. Really squeeze down into the turf, to your mat. Melt the four corners down so you have balance and stability. Really open that. See, I'm quivering here. My muscles are like, whoa, bro, what are you doing? And I'm gonna take into my mountain pose. Very strong tree. Extended mountain pose. We're gonna forward fold. Got my dog still behind me. So we're gonna go down into chaturanga. And we're gonna keep our chaturanga. And we're gonna go all the way down to the ground. Then we're gonna go press back into downward facing dog. We're gonna step into warrior one. Take that warrior one, press back into that heel, back heel, knee over the ankle, and then we're gonna press back in to that front leg. Keep that back leg pressing back as well, pressing forward. Then we're gonna tilt over in the triangle pose. Really keep the spine long as you can, and breathe. Really allow your body to tilt back, press into that front leg, and then side facing wide legged forward fold. Then you press and give the dog a little love, so she knows I love you too. I love you too, big head. Love you. No bite. Hey. No ma'am. No ma'am. Good girl. Side facing wide legged. Hey. Get. Let's go. Let's go. Good girl. Side facing wide legged forward fold. Hey. Give me that bone. You grab your big toes here. Some people even like to go into a full on headstand, tripod headstand. I'll do it on the other side. Just to show you, we're gonna stand tall into star pose. Both heels are pressed down. Now like you have two warrior ones, but no front legs. So squeeze towards the midline, squeeze everything up, press up, star pose. Then you're gonna take your feet and face them forward, whichever way was forward for you. And walk your back leg up slightly because you want it to stay flat on the ground this time. You don't want it to come up. And we're gonna take pyramid pose. So really extend up and forward, press back into the back leg, and then fold forward. So you don't allow your back to just collapse. That's not what you want. You want to keep this strong here and fold forward from there. Allow the hips and the belly to come together. And then fingertips, left leg back, you're gonna have left arm down, and then you're gonna twist to the twisting triangle pose. Really press down into both feet, and then chaturanga. Get back, Bubba. Come on. Get back. Get back. I'm almost done. Oh, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Warrior one on the other side. So press that foot down. Take that warrior one. And then really press into that front leg. Keep that back leg rooted. And then tilt forward in the triangle. Really open and extend while squeezing your 4 feet, 4 corners of each foot down. Open up. And then swing over in the side facing wide leg forward fold. And just to show you guys what the tripod headstand looks like, you take the side facing wide leg forward fold, press your hands down up under your shoulders, tilt forward, put your head down, which allows you to lift your feet up. Stand back up, put the hands back under your shoulder blades, stand up, start pose, pull the feet together, turn the feet towards the front, right foot should be back now, so right hand will be down, but before you get to that position, really extend and tilt forward. Don't just fall down into your lower back, tilt forward. Press into the front hip, press back into the heel, back heel, and twist. And then chaturanga. And then up dog. And down dog. And back in the chaturanga. Lay down on your belly. We're gonna press everything down into the ground. Then we're gonna lift everything off of the ground except for our belly button, if we can. Right to our hips. Squeeze everything back. It's called locust pose. Put your hands forward. Called Superman pose. Same thing. Squeeze everything up off the ground. And relax. And reach back, your hands back, grab the outside of your feet. And then squeeze the knees together and press them up. And up dog. Open the chest. Down dog. We're gonna walk our feet forward, plant our knees down. Put your big toes down into the ground, press the hips forward. Really allow the back to open, squeeze together and open the chest. Lean back, call this camel pose. I'm gonna take bridge pose. Hurry up, I'm losing daylight. Losing a little daylight, but it's all good. We're finishing this out. So I was just in camel pose. I'm gonna get down on my back, press my feet, facing 12 o'clock. Both feet are. Shoulder blades down into the mat.
And I'm gonna press my hips up into the air, pull my shoulder blades together, open the heart even more. Call this bridge pose. And then we sit back down. And then we're gonna put our hands facing the same direction as our feet. So you gotta flip them back next to your ears. Hard for you to see from this angle. Keep our feet in the same place as we were in bridge. And then we're gonna press up like we just did in bridge, but now we're gonna press up as well with our arms, and we call that wheel pose. Press up, both sides, from the legs and from the arms. Squeeze towards the midline. Relax. Do that one more time, then we're gonna do 10 upside down push-ups. I'll show you. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little pose. Tuck your chin, lay back down. Open your hips, press your feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana, or a butterfly pose while you're laying back. Really press your feet together, 4 corners. Let the hips open. Press the feet up in front of you. Lift your shoulder blades up off the mat. And scissors. Lift your shoulders up off the mat. Engage your core here. 3, 2, 1. Then bicycles, keep those shoulders up off the mat. Turn. Then press your feet up. Let your feet fall, press them, squeeze them together, pull them in. And then rock and roll. We're gonna spin back into downward facing dog. Really press back. Kick that foot up. You know, we're gonna rotate, take the right foot up to the left wrist and really just sit down into this half pigeon pose. It's a big hip opener. So it was a big challenge for me when I started yoga. And now look, I can lay down. I was not able to do this when I started over a year ago. This is over a year's worth of work. So don't think, oh, I can't do that, I'm not flexible, because in 1 year I was able to get here, and I had to sit way up here when I started. So it's a work in progress. You gotta work at it. That's the good thing about yoga. It's a daily work to get your body as malleable, which means it can move and bend, as possible, so that injury doesn't happen. If your joints are soft and oiled with water and fluids from the way that you eat, then injury will be less prevalent in your life. And when you breathe, you bring in what I call oil to the body. It's oxygen, pranayama, energy. It's free energy source. You don't have to pay AT&T or T-Mobile or Atmos for gas or any of those things. You can just breathe and you get free air, a la the God, our God that made this universe the way that it is. No matter which region you come from, our creator that made air a fuel for our body. Thank you for this free energy. And yoga helps me put it to use a lot better than sitting at the house watching Netflix. And again, so like I said, this has really opened up my hip. As you can see, my foot is almost parallel. I'm almost there. And I'm able to really allow my body to fall forward and just fall into this position
Again, I was not able to do this 1 year ago. It's taken 365 days plus of work to get to this. And I didn't do it every day, but you know, I was pretty consistent throughout the year, and I'm now able to sit into that pose, which was a very challenging pose for me, as is this one, double pigeon, where both legs are over each other like logs. I wasn't able to sit forward on this one. Wasn't able to keep my, I'm still a little bit high and open because my hips are still tight, but they are a lot more loose than they were when I started yoga for a serious year-long journey, which has now turned into a reality that I need this in order to push my body, in order to push myself in my daily practice for work, for being a husband, and for being soon to be a father, God willing, and obviously a father of a dog, as you've seen Blue running around here. You know, this has really opened up my being as a total human being, and I'm able to see things and be more myself, as it was becoming to be very hard to just be myself, because I always had a camera on, I always had something going on, and I always felt like I had to perform. And yoga has really opened me up to the reality that, yeah, I do have to perform, but my natural life is just a performance. I don't have to try. I just gotta make sure that I work really hard every day and set an example for those that are watching, and then that I'm open to those that have experiences that I don't, and I don't judge people based on their experiences or their perspective on life. I just take it in and say that's a different perspective. Just like my mind is opening, my hips were the leading cause of that, because my hips were so tight. I feel like my mentality was tight, and as I got more and more open hips, my mind was able to be more open and receptive. So now from double pigeon, we're gonna sit into seated forward fold. And again, you really just, if you need to, bend your thighs and let your chest sit on your thighs so that you feel safe in this position. You don't want to feel strained. And then as you get more and more comfortable, you can walk your heels out until one day they can be out straight, and your back and your spine can be straight as well. Then single leg seated forward fold, just like tree pose. This looks like tree pose if we were taking a picture from up top. And I press, just like in tree pose, into my thigh. And then I press my thigh back into that foot, which is a very challenging task from this angle. Really elongate the spine and fold forward. And switch sides. Same thing, press into the thigh. Press into the heel of this front foot. Press into the thigh. Squeeze everything towards the midline. And relax. Yeah, from there we're just gonna open your hips in the frog pose. This is, again, another one of those challenging poses because it really opens the hip complex, and those sensations are just like voices chattering in your ear, telling you to get out of this pose immediately before you die. And sometimes you can really feel that way and feel unsafe in certain poses. And that is the work in yoga, is to get into those poses and allow yourself to feel this and listen to what it's saying to you. This is telling me my hips are tight. Rod, your hips are tight right now. That's what it's saying. This does not feel good. So I need to be able to quiet my mind and tell my mind with my breath that I'm safe. So by breathing, inhale, exhale, it sends a signal to my nerves that I'm safe, everything is okay, and I get a little bit more calm. This is a daily work though. It's not gonna happen immediately today. My mind's still talking to me and saying, hey, get out of this pose, and I'm gonna listen to it and then rotate back, or whatever is safe, to fall forward
into this position, then windshield wiper your legs. Really move those hip joints around. And then we're gonna take a shoulder stand pose to get some rejuvenation. This position is really good because you get the blood flowing in an opposite direction of what it's used to. So you really rejuvenate the body by doing this and really just allow you to change your world. Put your perspective of your world upside down and know that you're still safe. So even if you're hanging upside down, you're safe. And then you can let your legs fall forward or backward and create a little cocoon here. Let your knees drop down to your ears. Dev Yogi's pose. And then roll safely out of that pose and down to the ground. Then let your knees fall to the side, your head going in the opposite direction, and keep your shoulder blades pressed into the mat. Let your knee press into the mat. And then just really breathe and allow this twist to happen in your lower back, but extend your breath forward. Inhale. Extend yourself outward. Exhale. Inward. Inhale. Exhale. Outward. Let your back twist open some more. And then switch sides of the knees. Switch sides of the head. Really allow shoulder blades to fall to the mat. Fall both directions. Inhale. Exhale, twist open. Open Supta Baddha Konasana. Allow the hips to fall open again. Reversing everything we just did. And then just thank yourself for this hard work and fall into what we call corpse pose or Savasana. And just allow yourself to relax. And wake everything back up, wake your joints back up, and usually allow yourself 5 to 8 minutes of rest in that pose. I'm speeding it up just because I need to finish. And you guys get the picture. That's recovery. Keep your eyes closed. Roll over to one side like an infant. On its side, rest your head on your bicep. Relax as you're recovering. And just being thankful for the hard work you just did. Sit up, eyes closed. Sit up, rotate into crisscross applesauce, as kids are probably familiar with. I'm familiar with from my childhood. Really sit tall. Bring your hands to prayer pose. We're going to do those vibrational ohms again. Now, after we've done this hour's worth of work, we have to shake that alternator again, make sure we shake anything out with the vibrations. We'll just do one big vibrational ohm, big deep breath after a big exhale. Exhale everything out. Inhale. Inhale, thumbs to your forehead center, where your seat of your intuition is, your third eye chakra. The light in me recognizes the light in each and every one of you who view this video. And it wants to say that it loves you as we are all one, no matter what race, creed, nationality, religion. We are all one human race. And my light recognizes your light. Namaste.
yeah. So that was a full class. It was probably a little bit over an hour, I would imagine, with Blue and my dog all in it. It was awesome. Really thank you guys for tuning in, checking this out. I'll continue to bring more and more yoga classes. That was more of a Twilight class. As you can see, the sunset behind me and the daylight change. This is a very good time after work to recenter your body so that you can give yourself to your family. You can clean off the day of work from your thoughts, clean off the dust, the dirt. If you're a construction worker out in the field or whatever, or if you're inside, you got all the mind clutter, you can let all that out and do that in the backyard as the sun is setting, where it's not so hot. It's really cool now. It feels great. I'm excited, about to go grab some water. But again, thank you. Shout out to Mean Green Eagles. Caw! And shout out to Horns. I got to hook them too, because wife is a deer. Hook them. Both athletes. We really put everything we could into our sports, and yoga is giving me a way to give back, because now I feel like I have something that most people are not looking for in the sports arena, but it is very special and very single-pointed in fine-tuning the body. The word yoga means union. So you're uniting all the tissues and pulling everything towards your core in your body. And when you're doing it next to other people, you're also, uniting and connecting with those people as you breathe and press your body to do some things that you didn't plan for it to do that day. And so this is a great gift that I've received from a dear friend of mine. Matter of fact, Pure Swing Golf, Mr. Anthony Broussard, is one of the few people that really advocated for me to do yoga after I stopped playing sports. It's really helped my knees, my joints, my lower back is really starting to loosen up. It's not as painful as it used to be, albeit the fact that I do drive a lot in my business and I'm sitting in the car, so I'm up and down a lot. So my joints started to really hurt because of the sports that I played prior, and yoga has really given, like I said, air to my joints and oil to my joints, because now I'm drinking a lot of water and I'm not doing things that dry out my body. I still go out, have a good time, have a few drinks, but I don't drink obliviously like I used to when I was younger and just wear my body and my joints out. I don't eat as much meat because that strips our body and our bones of calcium. Although they tell us it makes us strong, milk does, but science says that that's not true. And so it's just straight facts. And so I'm noticing all these things and learning all these things through my yoga, and I'm pulling all that in and applying it to my world and to my world of real estate. I'm taking on a new endeavor of trucking, and now, I teach yoga. And so anytime you have any questions about yoga, please come talk to me. It doesn't matter what sport you play. You could be a swimmer, basketball player, tennis player, baseball player. All the sports can benefit from yoga, because yoga is about benefiting the body in a whole, as a whole. There's subtle body energies, tons of things that we can talk about. So just